Welcome back, guys.
Yes.
So I'm super excited to introduce, we have the actor, director, writer, and producer, the one and only Alex Wyse.
Oh, what an
Hi, everybody.
intro.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming to Kiki with Pride, the podcast. How's it going? Where are you at?
Good. I haven't had a Kiki all week, so I'm happy to finally cross it off the list with all of you.
Perfect.
Fabulous.
I'm here and coming to you live from my apartment in New York. And
Yay.
Another one.
What do you mean?
Another
one?
New Yorker we should have had right here in
Oh,
the
it
I
is.
studio.
know.
Yeah.
We're in Manhattan.
So we have this thing that we always tell. Yeah, we have our studio, and we always, when we're reaching out to the PR teams, and we're like, we want your people to come on and all of that. We always say, you guys should just come here, and then everyone's like, we should have just came there. So next time you're coming in.
okay. All right. Well, only if I, make the grade with this interview. I have to
Right.
bar
Taking
first,
notes.
So we'll see how we feel at the end of this, and you can let me know if you rescind or still extend the invitation to me, and I will accept.
Perfect. That
Okay.
sounds great. I love it. So, Alex, tell us a little bit about yourself. When did you know that you wanted to be a performer? Like, walk us through basically from birth and let us know a little bit about yourself.
Sure. Well, I grew up in Cleveland, and I always was completely obsessed with theater and anything artistic and magic and anything that felt like expression and felt weird and let me, be an expressive little emotional boy. And I thankfully have parents who also are appreciative of the arts. They don't work in the arts, but they loved taking me to all the touring musicals that would come downtown to Cleveland. And so I would go see the Rockettes, and I'd go see the Secret Garden, and just whatever. Yeah, just like really sweet family shows they could take me to. And I was completely obsessed. So I kept going and going as much as I could. And then once I was old enough to start auditioning for theater, youth theater groups and stuff, I would do that, and loved being on stage. And so I just kind of kept going and was so passionate about it. And it just kind of snowballed, and now it's become the thing that has ruined my life and brought me here.
But
I hear that.
It's an amazing blessing, I can imagine. And I imagine when you were also younger, before we go to the next question, did you watch Will and Grace? Because I know you're getting ready for the highly anticipated Broadway production of Good Night, Oscar. How was that, seeing that when you were younger and now working opposite Sean Hayes? Was that kind of a full circle moment for you? Did you have to pinch yourself? How did you feel?
I'm still pinched. I'm still really very actively dealing with trying to wrap my head around this.
Yeah.
Seeing Will and Grace, I think I was about 11 or so when it premiered around there. And I was watching it as soon as it came out, and I was Sean Hayes was the first person I think I ever saw on TV who was queer and proud and funny and showing their full box of colors.
Yeah.
And I would go back into middle school and feel a little bit braver because I was watching Will and Grace, and I could share in the jokes with my friends, and we could I mean, Sean Hayes is a real hero to me, and I'm pretty moved that this is happening. This is a pretty crazy moment. So I'm still, and as we're recording this, I'm not sure when this will air, but I only start rehearsal on this coming Monday. So
yeah.
I've now met Sean a couple of times, and we've been talking, and I'm getting to know the cast, but I haven't dived into the work yet, dove into the work yet. So I still have some getting used to this dream realized that has yet to happen, but it's major. It's major.
Yeah, you're still gonna have some pinch me moments.
Yeah. I mean, in a way, I hope I don't stop having pinch me moments, because
absolutely.
Right. I mean, okay, so I've been very lucky that this is my 4th Broadway show that I'll be in.
Yes.
And that's thank you. And that's it's beyond, because I still very much feel like that little kid who just wanted to audition for the school play and couldn't believe I got cast. And so that doesn't really go away. And I think also the older I get too, the more I realize how impermanent this all is, how special this all is. This doesn't just happen. You know, I got this show because I worked my tail off to audition
Yeah.
again and again and again, and had to really own my self-esteem. It was a real journey for me trying to get this show. And so I just want to be as appreciative of this as I possibly can. And I feel so very lucky. I'm gonna try not to cry this early on the interview. I'm gonna wait till minute 20. But but this is a really big one for me. I can't believe this.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
that's-
you're already on the right track. Like, I feel your sincerity and your humbleness and all of that, and that will only get better. And I feel like you have the right energy, that you're bringing in positivity, and it's just gonna keep climbing and keep getting bigger and bigger. So we can say we knew you win.
Hello.
Thanks.
I love it. So
One day at a
you were in Spring Awakening, which is like one of my favorite musicals. What
Mhm.
was that experience like? Excuse me, especially being in the production that with ASL.
It was so special. I mean, that show was really crazy because we had half the cast was deaf and half the cast was hearing. This was the revival in 2015. And bringing these two worlds together, which is what the show thematically was about people who were yearning to be understood and felt like they were so up against the systems of society and all of that. And so Michael Arden had this amazing concept of, excuse me, I just had sushi, had this amazing concept of personifying that through deafness. And so all these deaf actors were learning what it was like to be in a musical, and what does my body feel like in time and space as it's dancing to music, and how do I stay in sync with all of that. And meanwhile, all of these hearing actors, we were all learning ASL for the first time, and we were these communities were coming together. So I mean, from this show, I've been lucky to have many jobs, but this is one of the only jobs I think I've had that answered to it was a creative moment, it was a career moment, it was a friendship moment. A lot of my best friends came from that show. And it felt like all these, and it was hard. I mean, it was so intense, this
Yeah.
intense, sad story, and speaking in two languages every day. And but it was so special. It was so major.
Yeah,
That's
it was
amazing.
very magical when I saw it. It was amazing. And, you know, being such a fan of the show, I didn't think like it would be able to top itself, but I was like, wow, that was a beautiful production.
That's cool to hear that. Yeah, I feel
Yeah.
like no one should do a revival of anything, I think. I mean, oh gosh, unless like there's a reason to retell that story and a way to recontextualize the story for today's audience, or with
Agree.
a different point of view or something. So I think Spring Awakening answered to that really well, and
Yeah.
was able to tell a new story with this older story.
Yes,
Representation matters.
Yes.
It really does. I feel like I only know of like a handful of shows that have done like an ASL version.
Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely.
So it needs to be more. Like there's only one Oscar-winning movie
Yeah,
that
well,
was
Coda.
Coda.
There was Coda, but there's also Children of a Lesser God, which
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. Never mind. I'm
Yeah.
canceled.
No, it's
You're
But-
done. You're off
it's
Pride
also-
podcast.
but you're also right, because that didn't win Best Picture, but Marlee Matlin was the first deaf actor to win the Oscar.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She cheer was.
Yeah,
Did
and then
you
she was
did
in
you work with her?
Yeah,
I was
she-
gonna ask, did you work with her? Yeah.
yeah. She's
How is she? She just seems like such a
Like
light and a
warm.
good time to hang out with. And
she's
gab
wild.
and, like,
She's wild.
That's great to hear.
That's
a
good.
You heard
wild
it here
deaf
first.
lady, let me tell you. She is
Yeah.
she's so fabulous. I really loved her. I mean, there's one part of her that's like very like Jewish mom and wants to like bring me matzo ball soup. And there's another part of her that's like, hey, let me tell you about doing drugs with Frank Sinatra. And
No.
Oh my God, yes.
I love
yeah, and that's not an exact quote, just to be clear, but it's kind of
that. Right.
Sure.
Right.
It was
Wink,
Elvis.
wink.
Yes, it was
No.
it was,
Elvis.
yeah, it was Elvis. No, but it was the kind of
Right.
feeling of, so she'd have these two like sides of her, which were she was so fun to be around. And I really loved learning from her and hearing her stories. And it was pretty cool.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Awesome.
That's so cool. So before you became like such a success, going back to your early childhood, you were saying that you were so obsessed with theater and the stage. Was there one show, musical, play, movie, or what type of entertainment that just struck your emotional chord and was like, okay, I want to do this?
Well, I really fell in love with Into the Woods when I was a kid.
Mm.
And recently I have a little I have a niece and nephew who are 4 and 6, and I was just over at their place this past weekend, and I showed them the first 40 minutes of the PBS Into the Woods with Bernadette Peters, and
Yes, the classic.
what a
You
moment.
can't beat it. You can't
Yes.
beat it.
You can't beat it. And you know what? They liked it.
Great.
Yay.
Starting them
It's-
early.
Yeah, it's colorful and it's
I'm
like
actually-
attract.
You
Oh,
better
sorry.
get commission. Put
You're right.
commission in their contract right now.
I don't know. I'm
Mhm.
actually really trying to discourage them from going into the arts. However, I wanted to still share this thing that was so
Get a
important.
trade first. Get a trade first, and then you know,
Right.
on
Then
the
dabble.
side. Right.
Like at least go into costumes. Like don't do what I did.
Hello.
Miserable,
Hello.
You know.
That's why I got my P&P degree because I was like, you know what, crew's always gonna work.
Party and play.
Ooh,
Hey.
well, that too.
That is a whole different topic.
He means performance and production.
I mean, but
I mean,
I think you
not
got
as
party, I think you got
He's-
party and play down too, right?
I have it's a certificate.
I
Oh,
bet
okay.
you're making more money with party and play than you are performance.
You absolutely.
I totally get that.
Y'all are silly.
I know how to rig a sled. Not a sled. Never mind. The joke. I
you,
fucked it up.
you see,
You
you see,
guys
you see what happens when prior to podcast we have a little bit of wine. Listen, I have a.
Sling.
Okay.
There we go.
Oh well, that's. I just saw you building a sling. So listen, one thing I want to tell you that I'm super obsessed about. So I love soaps. I've gotten to work in them, and you played Saul's grandson on Bold and the Beautiful, and
You
that.
watched the-
Oh
did you
yes,
watch? You watched
I
the
did. I did.
Darrell
I-
is
Darrell is
the
queen
soap
of soap.
queen.
I recently wrote for Days of Our Lives, and I have recurred on General Hospital. So yes, I know your character really well. So congratulations on that. I know that's a huge feat, and you need to come back. I know you were in trouble on the show for, I believe it was lying about some stolen designs from Forrester Creations, but I think I do know the storylines very well.
Wow, Darrell.
I remember,
Alex,
yeah.
do you even remember that?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so impressed. I don't often talk to anyone who knows the details of my storylines. That's really
Yeah, no, I know it very well.
I grew up watching Bold and the Beautiful. So
Yeah.
that's amazing.
My mom and sister currently still do.
Really?
Mhm.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
My granny still watches Days of Our Lives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it.
That's so like that whole storyline and everything. I think that Bold is currently they're reinvigorating themselves with the young. They've always been good about having the younger offsprings of the older people come on, and like Sally Spectra's niece is there now and everything. So hopefully you come back to that. But
I
just
was
wanna
going to
tell-
ask, would you do it again, Alex? Sorry to
Yeah,
cut you off.
yeah.
Well, first off, I have to tell you, I recently wrote an email to I can say
Casey?
whatever. No, I wrote an email to actually the casting people of Y&R, and I said, hey, I know Sally
Yes.
Spectra's on there right now. I want to be on the show.
Yes.
It
And
could
let's
absolutely
do it.
work.
yeah, it hasn't happened yet, but maybe even me saying it on this
Yeah.
Yes.
podcast will help to
Absolutely.
Putting it in the ether.
Well,
why
I
not?
will. Well, I will put a personal message to Greg Salmon and see what we can do.
I love Greg. That's who I wrote to.
I know I love Greg. I love
my
Greg very
God.
much. So I think that would be great because Sally needs someone to scheme with her because she's currently pregnant right now. She doesn't know who the baby daddy is. There's a lot of things going on. So what better than an ultimate schemer to come over and help her?
It could change tomorrow.
It really
It
could.
really, really
it
could.
So just wanted to like congratulate. I know that the dialogue on those shows are so very heavy. Ashley and I did small stuff on GH and it was
Mhm.
ridiculous. So like congratulations for that feat and being theater and all around. So wanted to do that.
It was a really wild time. I mean, I never wait, I wanted to go back to one thing you were talking about when you were asking about things I watched and was inspired by when I was
Yeah.
a kid. I
Mhm.
think something, and this will relate back. I'll see if I can if my short-term memory is good enough to make the full connection. Okay, but I didn't watch and love a lot of movies or
Mhm.
TV shows when I was a kid because I didn't see myself there. I never thought that like I, as this, scrawny gay kid, could ever be a part of those worlds. And I'd never, I mean, what I'm saying is not such a hot take. Like that I think we all kind of felt this in our own.
Yeah.
And thank God it's different now. But all this stuff with TV and film and like that I've been doing, this all came later because I didn't know any of it was an option for me. I always thought, okay, well, I can be in theater because I can be Chip and Beauty and the Beast. I can be like Tiny Tim in A Christmas Carol or whatever it was I was seeing at the time. And I thought, I can do that. I can do that. Put me up there, coach. But I didn't see that with TV and film. And so this stuff with TV film has, now I'm so excited that it's such a part of my life, but it really came along and surprised me. And I never knew that could happen.
Yeah.
I will say though, with Bold and Beautiful, it was a cool world to be in because I'd never done anything like, filming 3 episodes a day and cramming all these lines and part of something that had such history to it, and playing a character I played this character for a year, and I'd never played a character that long term. Like I've never done a series regular where I've been on a show for 7 years. It's not part of my journey, which is fine. But, it actually really is fine. I don't need to.
No.
I'm good on that.
No, I'm good. I can't. I don't want to.
Yeah, no, like, I'm good. One new thing every year.
Right.
But it was interesting feeling also like I was so excited to be in the soap world, but I didn't know if I really fit into the soap world, or if all the parts of me that made me, like all my queerness and all my weirdness, that's not really like what soaps do.
Right. It's true. It's true.
Yeah. And so I remember feeling like I had to fit myself into a box. And I remember like, this is probably the podcast. So like, I remember really trying to lower my voice because I started getting teased by the fans online saying like,
oh no.
Yeah, it was tough, saying like, oh, he's gay, as if it was something to like, yeah, who cares?
Which we work at a fashion design company. I mean, that's been the biggest critique of Bold and Beautiful. Like, you have a fashion house. Why don't gay people work there? Why is all the people who work?
And then they have
everyone who works there is straight. And then the one time that they had a trans character was played by a cisgender woman, which she was wonderful. But she played the part, and then they actually brought in a friend of the pod, Scott Turner Schofield. He came on and played her friend who was actually trans, but it was just very weird timing. And GLAAD came in and they loved what Bold was trying to do, but it still it wasn't authentic in a way, because you have a fashion house with just straight people. And it's just not.
How dreadful.
How dreadful.
That's dreadful. Such drab designs, let me tell you.
God.
No sparkle, no sequins.
Not 1 inch, no.
And I really, it was an odd experience. Like, I loved the actors I was there with, and I had some good times there, but I felt kind of at my core like I don't really belong here. And so I think, one of the reasons, and I'll say this here so I can put it into the ether, one of the reasons that I want to be on The Young and the Restless is so I, as Saul, can go on The Young and the Restless, come out of the closet, and as Sally's gay friend.
Yes. And then we're going to put that out there.
I'll make it happen.
Yeah,
I'll make that happen.
Honestly,
he'll probably write.
Honestly, years ago I would have said I don't know, but now I'm like, we'll see, because it could happen. It could very well happen. So congratulations to all of that. I love that.
Oh, thanks. It's an interesting thing to get opportunities, but still feel like you belong or you don't belong, or like
absolutely.
It's an interesting thing to navigate, that there's no real rule book for a playbook. And so
they do try to take the gay and tone it down on just all mediums, I feel like. I mean, when I think I did All My Children, I was walking across in boots, and I tell the story actually all the time. It's like, you're like, can you like slow your walking down? And I know what it was. I was stomping across that stage in them boots with them, thought they were heels, and clicking and moving my hips. And they're like, can you just slow down? Can you like kind of walk a little bit slower with like a lot less energy? And I was like, oh, so you want me to
tone down the game?
Just say that.
I would have given the same name.
Yeah, but well, you are what's wrong with the world.
That's right. They wanted you to lower the voice of your walk.
lower the voice.
Right, lower the voice of your walk.
One of the notes I always got was stop breaking the wrist.
Yeah.
Oh no,
Yeah.
Adam.
It's like, Adam, you're breaking the wrist again.
It's crazy.
I will break your wrist.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, how about that? You like
Among
that?
other things.
So, Alex, obviously you're super professional, but you also have some personal projects that are going on. Tell our listeners a little bit about those.
Personal do you mean like my journal? Like what
Your journal?
just a
No,
little-
don't you have a project with
Where you
with
wrote,
Frankie
you
Grande and
directed.
Michael
Oh,
Urie?
the movie I directed. That still sounds professional to me.
Yeah.
But it's yours.
But it's your baby. It's
I
part of your
understand.
baby.
I follow.
She was like, personal projects. What is that?
So my therapist
He's
and
like
I
crocheting.
are working on okay.
Right.
Okay, yes. So I have my writing and directing partner on a lot of things that I do is Wesley Taylor, and he and I make a lot of stuff together. We made a web series together called Indoor Boys, which you can check out at indoorboys.tv.
Yay.
And we have this new movie that's coming out it's going to be in select theaters on March 31st, and then it will be streaming everywhere on April 7th. It is called Summoning Sylvia, and it's with Frankie Grande, Michael Urie, Travis Coles, some wonderful, wonderful people. And it is the story of a gay bachelor party that performs a seance and takes a very spooky turn when spirits are suddenly summoned cis. So
Oh
wow.
my God.
That's
sounds
literally
so fun.
literally like I want that life.
I really
Braden
appreciate
loves
it.
calling the corners.
I call all the corners, all 5 of them.
He stays on them as well. But I would love to
Oh shit.
You are stupid.
It took me a little bit.
Yeah.
I
You
was
were like,
I
on the
stay on the corner.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's gotta work too.
I will say I really appreciated that alliteration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
It was very
It was very well planted.
No.
Yeah,
I
I
would
felt like it thematically captures the movie. It's really a lot about like it's okay. So the movie is it's about a gay group of friends, and we've all seen movies about where it's a straight world and there's like that one gay guy, like what I'm auditioning to be on The Young and the Restless for some reason. But yeah, I don't know why. But this is a movie that's about a gay world that a straight person steps into, and that is what creates the sort of horror of it. That is the horror, and it's kind of the conflation of hauntings and homophobia. There's more alliteration, and Summoning Sylvia is real. I think it's very clever and it's funny. It'll make you laugh, and I think it'll ultimately make you feel. And it's a good time. So keep a lookout for Summoning Sylvia. We're really proud of it. We worked our freaking asses off on it, and it's we made it right out of the pandemic. So
wow.
Yeah, we wanted to really set ourselves up for failure.
No.
Sounds like us.
I was going to say that sounds like Pride the Podcast.
That sounds like Pride to everything. Anything that has Pride, after us, that we
it's us.
It's us and a mess up.
So Summoning Sylvia is streaming April 7th, which coincidentally, April 7th is when you begin previews, right, for Goodnight Oscar?
Yeah, I did.
So it's gonna be a crazy day.
Wow, that is a crazy day
it's
for
gonna
you.
Be a crazy day for
That's
you.
also my dad's birthday, so
that's
it's just a great day.
That's why
we did it.
Thank
and that's
you.
like,
Happy birthday,
surprise.
Dad.
Yep. Surprise, Mr. Mitchell.
Yeah.
It's actually Pastor Mitchell. Pastor.
Oh, Pastor Mitchell, forgive me.
I love it.
I love it. That is so good. I mean, Alex, we've got to get you in here and we gotta hang out. I mean, you're not gonna have much time after 3 weeks, but we need to get you before you go on stage so that you can really, celebrate.
And we can't wait to see you on stage.
Yes, I'm so looking forward to getting a ticket.
Yes, please. If you come, please let me know. I would love to hug you after the show and we can say
yes.
I'll stage door again.
Yes.
Right. Oh my gosh.
I love
flashbacks.
Triggered. So yeah, Alex, let our listeners know where they can find you on the social medias and where they can find all your projects.
Sure. Well, for mental health reasons, I'm only on Instagram. And
Word.
I feel that.
Kudos to that.
Yeah, and I'm at Alex J, the letter J, Wyse. That's my name, at Alex J Wise, and that's where you can find me. And you can check out, make sure you check out Summoning Sylvia, and if you can come see Goodnight Oscar at the Belasco Theater starting on April 7th, and that's what I got.
And Indoor Boys. Make sure to check out Indoor Boys. as well. Yes.
Any of it,
April
please.
7th.
Yes.
Everything's premiering. And so before we let you go, we have a question we ask all of our guests that come on. What does pride mean to you?
I was ready to be like verse, but no.
Well, I was
I
like,
love that.
well, I took that note down too. And just for that, you are welcome back on Pride the Podcast.
Okay. What does pride mean to me? You know what? I'll say this. For me, it's been a very active thing of trying to make the stories that I wish I could have seen when I was a kid. And I want to answer to my inner child who still is just wishing that he had people around him who got him. And I want to make the kinds of movies and TV shows and whatever it is in the world that make kids out there feel like they are understood.
That is
Boom.
beautiful.
Amen to that.
That is beautiful. Well, thank you again so much for joining us. You've been an absolute treat. And you had to come back and do a whole time when you get time in your busy schedule of Hot Topics with us and just come and sit. You're welcome back anytime.
Thank you. I would love to come back, and it's been so fun talking to all of you. Thank you.
I think
Is it me?
Everything froze.
Yes, Alex.
Am I back? I can
It
see
was
you.
like everything froze.
Can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you. Can you hear me?
I mean, that was quick timing. We cut that easily.
Yeah, it's great. We can definitely edit.
We appreciate it.
Yeah, that's right. Wait. Can you hear me though? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I'll say it again.
Yes. Now we.
No.
I was like, oh, he's frozen again.
What the fuck? What? No, you're gonna say what you have to say, and it's not gonna let you go until you say it.
I'm not going to go until I say, thank you for having me. I've loved talking to you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
We got you
Likewise.
that time.
Yes, we got you.
Thank you, Alex. We'll talk to you
All
very
right.
soon.
Bye.
Bye.